Chris HUTCHING Last updated 0500, September 27, 2017. Property investor Simon Henry has bought the bauxite in Sockburn. Simon Henry, one of Christchurch's largest industrial property investors, has added a 4.6-hectare property at Sockburn southwest of Christchurch to his portfolio. The multimillionaire, whose fortune based on asset values is estimated at $165 million, is also currently developing the 60 hectares Belfast Business Park in northwest Christchurch, with an estimated end value of $400 million. He is also well known for his former ownership of commercial buildings in the central city such as the Inland Revenue Building in Cashel Street, bought by the Crown in 2014 for $32 million for part of the government post-quake blueprint. It is sitting empty until state agency Atakaro finds a use for it, possibly for offices or apartments. But Henry has moved on to new pastures with insurance payouts plus the proceeds from that building and others he owned in central Christchurch. Read more. Christchurch's abandoned buildings, a criminal playground, $36 million industrial park for Belfast bid to save a building based in Auckland these days. Henry's Rapaki Group has industrial and office properties in Wellington, Sydney, Melbourne, and Auckland. His latest acquisition at Sockburn has 29,000 square meters of surplus development land. He bought the property from Buck, a member of the global gas giant Lind Group, which is rationalizing its local operations and has taken a long-term lease on part of the property. The deal was brokered by Sam State, Director of Industrial Sales and Leasing at Colliers International in Christchurch. Located at 21 Epsom Road, the property has a long history of use by Buck Gases as a gas cylinder refilling plant, as well as a gas equipment retail and service center and spent cylinder store. First occupied in the 1950s with a gas filling facility, subsequent development was carried out in the 1960s, 1970s and 1980s. Henry is familiar with the business of chemicals logistics, having acquired companies involved in chemical storage and water and waste treatment companies in New Zealand and Australia. Born and bred in Rangiora, Canterbury, Henry made his early forays into the commercial property market after the 1987 share market crash, which created opportunities for canny entrepreneurs. It was arguably more significant for New Zealand than subsequent market meltdowns, including the 2008 global financial crash, when most finance company investors were bailed out by a government guarantee. Henry said Christchurch represents good value for money, while the other markets are probably overpriced. It's a good place to do business and I know the market. In other markets, there's a lot of foreign money coming in, and it can be a bit blind. It tends to be more about money looking for a home, rather than money looking for a good investment. That means prices can be out of touch with the property's intrinsic value. Christchurch hasn't really been affected by that. It's a good stable market that I understand, and I'm sure I will be investing there for many years to come. Henry said he would continue to invest in the industrial sector and had several projects in advanced negotiations. I'm a bit of an opportunist when it comes to property, but I do like the underlying land value when it comes to industrial property. State said there was still a keen appetite for industrial property in Christchurch. It's still very buoyant with low vacancy. Business confidence is high, and the local economy is performing well. Stuff.